Hey y'all, welcome back to What's Cooking with Will Graves, the cooking show where I teach you how to make a bunch of stuff for your friends, family, and loved ones. Now today we've got a pretty simple one. Going back to the basics, this is something you can bring to picnics, family cookouts, barbecues. It's pasta salad, boys and girls. It's a very simple thing. You see, we take some rotini that we make, right? We boil some rotini, we chill it, we add some fresh grape tomatoes, and some cucumbers and Italian dressing, and you basically make a salad of pasta. It chills and it's just very good. So I'll show you all how to make it. It's a very simple one for this week, nothing too crazy, and let's get right into it. This right here is just about all we're gonna need here. I've got grape tomatoes, Italian dressing, a cuke, rotini pasta, little bacon bits, and some cubes of Colby Jack cheese. Now I scored all this stuff at Aldi like usual, and this all together is about, I would say, $11, $12 for these things specifically. In terms of hardware, we've got pretty simple, a little mixing bowl, a knife to cut the tomatoes up, and then just a bowl to boil our pasta, and we're gonna of course need like a big spoon, whatever your choice of spoon is, and potentially some Tupperware. Now actually this bowl right here comes with a lid, so that's gonna cover us, me for putting it in the fridge, but you might want something if you don't have such a handy little bowl. So that's what we'll need. Let's get some water in that pot and get the pasta going. All right, now we're doing a good bit of pasta, so I made sure to generously fill the pot with water. We're gonna go ahead and crank this to maximum overdrive here. We're gonna bring this to a nice boil, and actually, we're gonna put in this rotini once it starts. We're gonna use the whole box for this recipe as that's sort of the correct ratio of pasta to sauce to all that other stuff. So we'll wait till that gets to a boil, and I'll get right back to y'all. Now it looks like the pasta is getting there, so what we're gonna do this time, different from our meat lasagna video, is we're going to pull the pasta out, strain it like normal, but then run cold water over it to help us chill the pasta for this cold dish. So let's get right into that. All right, y'all. Now it's time to strain this rotini. I got cold water running so it cools down. We're gonna go ahead and just strain it just like that, like any other time you strain pasta here. And then what we're gonna do is actually just run cold water over the pasta to help it chill later. And what's cool is it's in a strainer, so the water will just run right out of it. So you're just gonna put it right over the hot noodles, just like that. And just make sure to get a good cover all over the pasta, not just kind of on one end. I'm gonna toss it around a little bit, and just sort of let the cold water sort of rub onto it there.
Okay, now we're gonna move it to the pot.
And now we'll move the slightly cooled down pasta back to the pot. So y'all can follow me over here. We can just throw it right in there. There we go. I'll let that cool a little bit further because obviously that pot's still a little warm, and then we can get it chilled. We have our pasta here ready to chill, but we're gonna toss it in some olive oil here. Just a nice hearty amount. That olive oil will sort of help the pasta not stick together when it chills, because that's definitely a risk you could have, and it could be a whole mess with everything. So we're ready to chill that off. While we have that pasta chilling, we can actually go ahead and cut up our fresh vegetables here. I guess tomatoes are fruits, but I gave them both a good rinse. You can see that there. And I cut the ends off of this cuke here, this little cuke. And what I'm actually gonna do, the tomatoes are very simple. I just cut them for this particular recipe into halves, and I'm gonna use this entire thing of tomatoes. I'm just gonna go through, cut those all into halves right there. And then the cucumbers are a little bit more of a process. So I'm gonna cut it actually into two pieces just to give myself a little bit more hand room. I have a potato peeler, which I didn't mention before, but we've used it in some previous episodes. And a similar principle to the potato, we're gonna go and just skin this puppy. Now obviously it's a little awkward with the camera here. You're just gonna go ahead and skin this entire cucumber, because cucumber skin ain't no good. You'll go ahead and get them all done, and then I'll show you all what to do. Okay, now we have a totally skinned cucumber here, and I just like to kind of get it into little slices here, medallion sort of things, and then get it into like quarters or so. So they're relative to our tomatoes in size. We'll sort of get something like that, and you can go a little extra. It really depends on what you want to do. If you have a dicer, you can kind of dice them into little pieces, but I like about this size for the pasta salad, personally myself. So we'll get this all done up, and the other half of the cucumber as well, and we'll come right back to you. Now that we have those cucumbers and tomatoes all nice and chopped up, I also went ahead and cut the cheese cubes into quarters, and we're gonna get it all in a bowl for later when we add the pasta. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now I've got the pasta. Now it's chilled in the fridge for an hour. actually just in the pot. I made sure to let it cool down so I'm not putting a hot pot in the fridge, right? But covered it, got that here. I have clean hands, by the way, but I'm gonna grab one of these pieces of pasta. It's nice and cool, it's just a little floppy little baby. We're ready to mix here. So I have everything all in one bowl. And I've added these bacon bits here. We added the whole pack. And what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and get this stuff kind of into this pot here. And we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish off actually an old thing of Italian. But we're gonna get this in. Overall, I would say you wanna use about half of a bottle. So I was finishing off that one, of course. So I'm gonna use a little bit more of this. All right, now we've got that dressing in here. I'm gonna go ahead and add some seasonings. I got onion powder and garlic powder. We're gonna stir it. So we can come right over here and I'll show you all what I'm up to here. So obviously we have a lot of Italian dressing to incorporate. We wanna make sure that everything is kind of even here. We don't want all the veggies at the bottom, all the pasta at the top. We just wanna get a nice even bowl here. And while it looked like a lot at the beginning, once you kind of get everything in, it starts to sort of level out a little bit more. So we're gonna add some seasonings and get this going. It'll make a nice little dish. So I'll keep stirring this, and we'll come back when it's a little more incorporated. All right, boys and girls, I'm gonna go ahead and give this pasta salad a try. Now, of course, anything like this where it's a bunch of ingredients together, I think it's good to get everything together in one bite. So, definitely turned out very fresh. I think the tomatoes, the cheese, the cucumbers, it all makes for a very refreshing, nice kind of cool side dish. This will be great for going to the beach, just don't get no sand in it. Picnic, cook out by the pool, something like that. It's great to have with, burgers, dogs, anything you're really feeling. So overall, this is a nice little recipe, nice and easy. Nothing too complex, y'all. Come on, I mean, it's near the end of the semester, let's be serious. I hope y'all enjoyed this week's episode, and frankly, happy cooking.